New England, the whole northeastern part of the United States. And actually all the stories in my books, that's basically where they take place in small New England towns, because I find them
Wonderful.
very, uh, very heartwarming places, genuine people.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman, Logan Crawford.
They now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're diving into a wonderful book. It's called The Rusty Red Wagon, and it's written by a terrific author by the name of L.M. Haynes. It is a heartwarming children's story filled with hope, kindness, and the true spirit of Christmas. Set in the small town of Dansby, Maine, the tale follows Dylan and Diana Brewster as they try to save their family farm with the help of a rusty old wagon, a devoted fire chief, and a loving community. This beautifully told story shows how generosity and compassion can create lasting joy that will endure for generations. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Lawrence, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you, Logan, for having me. I truly appreciate it.
I appreciate your work on this wonderful book. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind it. Is this like a story you might have told your children over the years or something? How did you come up with the idea?
Well, actually, The Rusty Red Wagon is actually the 10th in a line of children's books that I've written. I've always been fascinated by the idea of paying something forward in life. It's something that I was taught when I was younger, something I've tried to pass on to our children and now hopefully our grandchildren. And the idea came to me about a family that was struggling financially with two children, and those children wanting to help their parents out by selling a precious possession that they had. In this case, with Dylan, it was his rusty red wagon, because that was his most prized possession.
And that's quite a sacrifice for a child, particularly in that era of when you and I were growing up. To sell a rusty red wagon was a big deal because
sure
toys and playthings were not plentiful, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so then what he does is he does try to sell the wagon at a local firehouse, where they have a local firehouse. The chief there pretends that he is buying the red wagon from Dylan because he knows what a prized possession it is. So he gives Dylan money for the red wagon, but he does not in turn resell it. He takes it home and he remodels it and paints it and gets all the rust off, turns it into a beautiful, beautiful red wagon. And a few days before Christmas that year, Dylan and his sister go back to the firehouse because they're having a fair and they're giving a toy giveaway to the local children. And after that day, when the giveaway is over, he returns the wagon to Dylan, brand new. And Dylan is so moved by this. I did leave a part out. After he had given the red wagon, he did have second thoughts. And like any boy, little boy normally would. And he prayed to Jesus and said, Jesus, if you get me a red wagon for Christmas, you will be the first ride in my red wagon. So when he gets the red wagon back from the fire chief, the first place he goes is to his local church and asks the pastor if he can have the nativity statue of Jesus to take for a ride in his wagon. The pastor agrees to it as long as it's back by Christmas Eve, and he does, to the joy of all the parishioners. And then he comes up with the idea of wanting to pay forward. So what he does is he has a small plaque put on the wagon, and his idea is that every Christmas, the red wagon be returned to the firehouse so that another child can use it for the coming year. And then the wagon would be returned and passed on, turned and passed on. And that's
Really, such a
basic.
heartwarming, beautiful story of love and giving and compassion on the part of the fire chief, and the fact that, you know, this wagon will be an enduring plaything for children, an enduring Christmas present for generations to come, is a wonderful concept as well. I can almost picture this as a film. I can picture the fire chief and the fire station and the little boy and the little girl with the wagon. Have you envisioned this as a movie?
Yes, I guess I've envisioned all of my books somehow as a movie. I'm just hoping that someone sees the same thing.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Well, you've done the hard work, you've created the story, you've put it out there, so hopefully it winds up in the right hands. So Disney or Hulu or Nickelodeon, if you're watching, this
Very
would
kind
be
of
a
you.
terrific Christmas story that is truly, truly heartwarming and very unique as well. I love the fact that you set the story up in Maine, because Maine is kind of like a Christmas state. It's very snowy, it's very cold. Do you know much about Maine, or was it kind of all
No,
your?
but I was, born and raised in New York, as you can probably tell from my accent. I see you have a New York background there.
Yeah.
Are you from New York?
I am. I grew up in New Rochelle. I saw you're from Syosset.
I live in Syosset now, but I was born and raised in Queens.
Okay, gotcha.
Um, so I
Gotcha.
no, I just love them, New England, the whole northeastern part of the United States. And actually all the stories in my books, that's basically where they take place in small New England towns. Because I find them
Wonderful.
very, uh, very heartwarming places, genuine people.
Agreed.
Um,
Is Dansby a real town or is that a fictional town?
far as I know, it's not.
Yeah. Well, it could be
I
because
know.
it
Yeah, you
has
can
that
go on
real
you can
feeling
go
of
on
a,
the internet now and check the names of all towns, but this one just happened to pop into my mind one day when I was writing the book.
well, it's wonderful. So tell us about your other 10 books. Are they all children's stories?
They're all children's stories. They all basically, um, what I wanted to do was, when I was younger, I always wanted to do this for when my daughters were first born. I'd always had an interest in drawing from the time I was very young. And after I went through high school and college, that kind of waned because I met my wife, and we started our family. And once that happens, all the other dreams kind of go to the side while you're fulfilling these dreams. And then when I was about 57, I started drawing again, and then came the idea of children's books. And I wrote my first children's book when I was 57. That was called The Christmas Time Travelers One. That one revolved around the dogs that we had in our family at the time. And each book is, probably 18 to 20 pages long. And there's an illustration for each page. Actually, the illustrating is what takes the longest. I'm not really a trained writer, but I think I'm able to put together a good story. And I think that these are just heartwarming stories. They're faith-filled, and something that I just think children need nowadays.
Yeah,
Something that their
absolutely.
parents can sit down and read to them, or their grandparents, or even an older sibling. And it's really, I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much, and it's been so fulfilling to me. And I hope that the people that do come across my books and read them feel the same way.
Oh, I think absolutely they will. They feel like they've stumbled upon some classics here. The Rusty Red Wagon certainly feels like it's been around forever. It's unique and it's original, but it has a timeless quality about it, which is wonderful. I also think it's wonderful that you do both the writing and the artwork for the books. So they make them uniquely yours. Your wife must be very proud of you, as she should be. And you're working on book 11 now?
Yes, I'm working on book 11 now. The working title is The Well-Known Stranger,
Hmm.
and I expect that that will be ready before the end of the year. Yeah, and the books, I have this real love for Christmas that was instilled in me by my parents. So about half the books are Christmas themed. There's some that are patriotic in nature because growing up, I had the extreme pleasure of knowing quite a few people from what became known as the Greatest Generation,
Hmm.
aunts and uncles, and even my father-in-law. My dad was too young to have served, but they were an extraordinary generation of people. And
Absolutely.
one of the books is kind of a tribute to them. It's entitled The Littlest Patriots.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, wonderful work on the book we've been focusing on today. The name of the book is The Rusty Red Wagon. It reminds us that the simplest acts of generosity can leave the greatest legacies. Lawrence, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Logan, I really appreciate the time and your patience today, and hope to be speaking to you soon
I look
again.
forward to talking to you about your future works down the road, no doubt. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.